Okay, one of the people that Sasha Banks said she would love to have the opportunity to wrestle was Lita. So of course, when we have the opportunity to do these dream matches at the first ever women's pay-per-view Evolution, great. Thinking maybe Lita and Sasha will have their big match. Or maybe Lita and Trish will have their big match against Sasha Banks and Bayley. We're getting none of those. So, we're going to have it here. So, of course, Sasha Banks should be one of the biggest women in professional wrestling right now because her NXT work was on point. Kind of lost in the shuffle, especially now with Rousey being the top of the Raw landscape. It's going to be difficult for Sasha Banks to really get herself in there, even though I'll be honest. I think Sasha and Ronda Rousey, money. If they want to do Rousey as a face, you push hardcore NXT level boss Sasha Banks against her, and it just flows in and breaks trucks. Sick might have made off her once you let her go. Lita, 1/3 of Team Extreme, 1/2 of the Rated R Superstar. Edge during one of his highest points as a heel. 1/2 of Team Bestie, or Besties for Best Business Best. Or you might know her as Miss Congeniality from ECW days. That girl who was with Papi Chulo. A stalwart in the Attitude Era. Did some insane things. Worked well with the Hardys. So, let's get right into this. Strength. Lita, noticeably bigger, stronger. She at least threw in some power moves. It might have helped Lita during her time frame, the fact that a lot of the women were of similar sizes. Where nowadays there's very small women. I just mean small in stature. You're looking like a Sasha Banks or a Alexa Bliss, Selena Vega, up into large women. That's your Charlotte, who's 5'10". She's like the average height of a man. That's your Nia Jax. So you've got all of a sudden this range from like 5 foot to like 5'10", 5'11". So while it allows for a much wider variation of moves. Speed. Banks take that in spades. I mean, there's zero concern about that. She's smaller, lighter, significantly quicker. Endurance. Sasha Banks has wrestled, of course, an Iron... I always call it Iron Man match because Iron Person sounds weird. And Iron Woman just seems odd. So she wrestled that. She's wrestled much longer matches. Significantly longer than what we saw from the Attitude Era. Yes, in the Attitude Era, women might have had a 10-minute long match if it was a pay-per-view that was predominant. It was a really good story. But not that often did they have matches that were very long. Toughness, I'm going to give Lita. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Before people go, but Banks had that Hell in a Cell. She had a false count anywhere. Lita was involved in multiple TLC matches. The Dudleys put her through tables. She took an unblocked chair shot to the head from Stone Cold Steve Austin. And if you want to look at how they folded their bodies with suicide dives, Lita took a significantly worse suicide dive where her feet kissed the back of her head, and she still finished the match. I'd probably say Lita's got a hair more in the way of toughness than Sasha Banks, but not by much. Striking. This has to do more with just the evolution of wrestling just in general. Lita, you had punch, kicks, drop kicks. With Sasha Banks, you have punch, kicks, drop kicks, you have knee strikes, you've got some forearms, you've got some elbows. There's a lot more just moves that are thrown in. Grappling. This is your slams, your suplexes, all these sort of things. While Sasha Banks does have a nice repertoire of moves like that, Lita would occasionally hit suplexes. She would occasionally hit body slams. She would occasionally hit power bombs. I think it's more the fact that she's a little bit larger and took on people who are of a similar size, that she did more of the grappling style moves than what Sasha Banks do. That being said, Sasha definitely takes it when it comes to submissions. Banks statement, great submission move. Alright, high flying. With Sasha Banks, you do have the meteor, you have the suicide dives. That's really about all we've got from her when it comes to leaving her feet. Where with Lita, you've got her moonsault, her suicide dives, as well as her diving Hurricane Rana. So I'm going to give her the edge in that. Over with the crowd. If we're looking at Sasha Banks like fresh from NXT, it would be Sasha Banks. But they've cooled her down so much, it's not even funny. Where with Lita, she still gets that great veterans prop that, like, oh, it's a legend. You know, the crowd goes nuts for it. Ring psychology. Now I'll go to Mike Work next real quick. Mike Work, Sasha Banks. She's easily one of the best promos when she's not doing babyface. Her babyface promos just come off odd. There's a certain swagger, there's je ne sais quoi to her that does not translate well in a babyface promo at all. In a heel promo, yes. When her thing is, I had a dream, I hadn't made it. So her whole song is about the drive to become the best that she can possibly be. Semi-crying babyface, it doesn't quite really ring true. Her character is based more upon, you said I couldn't do it, I did it. Not because everyone should be proud of me. No, I did it because I'm proud of me. This is my pride. This is me doing this for me to prove you wrong. It depends on who the you is. If the you is Stephanie McMahon, then you know what? It's a Daniel Bryan character. If the you is the crowd, then you're a heel. Now, ring psychology. I give it to Banks. This is just because I've seen how far she can go. When she was facing Bayley in NXT, and the cuffs were off on Banks, snatching the headband off of Izzy is an indelibly beautiful moment in heeldom. Banks, you're making kids cry, brah. And it was just fantastic. When she decides, and they let her go, you know what, just go out and do it. Just go out and do it. She tears the house down, rebuilds it, so she can tear it down again. That's the level of skill that exists in Sasha Banks when it comes to being a total professional sports entertainer. If they give her the opportunity to just cut loose and put her with the proper opponents, there's a reason her last name is Banks. She's absolutely full of money. You gotta tap into it.